The moon hung pale and foreboding in the overcast sky, casting ghostly shadows across the abandoned cemetery path. Occasional owl hoots pierced the heavy silence, heightening the sense of dread. "George! Wait for me! This place gives me the creeps," called out John, a rugged-looking middle-aged man struggling up a steep, grave-lined hill. Ahead of him, the figure moving with unsettling agility had an air of distinction marked by a streak of white hair glowing eerily in the moonlight. Despite his striking features, an aura of darkness clung to him. "Hurry, John! After midnight, the infant spirit's power will diminish," the man said, his voice echoing like a chilling wind through dead leaves. John quickened his pace, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and urgency. "Right, George," he gasped upon reaching the crest. "Clear the grass from this grave," George commanded, setting up his array of occult tools with a sinister precision. John rolled up his sleeves and began uprooting the overgrown weeds around an old grave marker. Meanwhile, George meticulously arranged the tools of his dark craft, his movements deliberate and calm. When everything was in place, he turned his gaze toward the moon. "Now dig," George ordered. With trembling hands, John grabbed a shovel, his strokes hurried and uneven. Soon, he uncovered a small, decaying coffin. He took a crowbar, inserted it into the cracked wood, and with a disturbingly loud snap, pried it open. Inside was the corpse of an infant, its skin pallid and shriveled, a stark contrast to the innocence of sleep. John froze, the crowbar slipping from his fingers. "Move! Remove the body!" snapped George, breaking John's paralysis. Suppressing his horror, John lifted the tiny corpse, placing it on a yellow cloth as instructed. George swiftly wrapped it, drawing occult symbols in blood-red cinnabar, securing the bundle with crimson twine. His actions were eerily methodical, as if he had done this countless times. "When you return home, bow 3 times and now down 9 and never look back until you've placed it on the altar," George directed in a tone that brooked no argument. With the wrapped infant in arms, John painfully obeyed, his knees bleeding from the sharp stones. At home, he completed the ritual and collapsed, the bundle beside him. "Kneel," commanded George, returning with a dagger etched with nightmarish symbols. He plunged it into the corpse, black viscous fluid pooling beneath. Mixing it with cinnabar and burning a talisman over it, he created a foul concoction. "Drink," he ordered. John hesitated only a moment before the desperation for power overcame his disgust. He drank, gagging on the bitter taste. George then slashed John's wrist, mixing his blood with more cinnabar and a talisman. He poured this mixture over the infant's wound, which soaked it up greedily. The child's eyes snapped open, glowing unnaturally. As George chanted in an ancient tongue, the wind howled, extinguishing the candles. The infant began to thrash violently, issuing a piercing cry. "He is yours now. He will bring you fortune at a price. His name is Liam. Remember, he demands loyalty and sacrifice." George's voice was like a death knell. "Yes, Daddy," came a chilling whisper as John held the bundle, a twisted affection in his eyes.